Hi, and welcome to this video on why I quit dressage. I thought it was about time to give a little bit of backstory. I've been on YouTube doing videos for a little bit of time now, and I thought it might be nice for you all to get to know who I am and why I do what I do. So in this video, I'm going to tell you about why I chose to quit dressage and I no longer compete, and what led me to start training horses with a holistic method. I did my first dressage test when I was, I think, 18, 19, because someone loaned me a horse to compete, and I was absolutely addicted. I loved it from the word go. So I went and found out all of the information about how to be successful, what it took, how to do all the movements, what you needed with regards to a horse perspective. And then I went out and bought a young Danish warm blood. He was really successful and I learned a lot. He then went on to have degenerative joint disease in both front fetlocks. So then I went and got another horse. Nice big German warm blood. He was also really successful. He's a lovely boy. But he then developed, at the age of 5, he developed navicular and had various other things going on. So he didn't make it. And then I got another one. And this process went on and on and on. There was one horse after another, and they were just constantly varying degrees of brokenness. And it would work for a bit and then it wouldn't. And so the story went on, really. And I trained with various international trainers, high-level trainers, and I was doing the best with the information that I had. But then I realised, what is going on? Why is this cycle repetitively happening? And after some thought, I realised that the common denominator in this situation was me. So I took a long, hard look at myself, went and learned an awful lot of stuff about groundwork, about biomechanics, about anatomy, about structure and conformation, about how you can rehabilitate horses. I used a lot of dissection resources to understand how things connect, what the deviations can be, and all of this kind of stuff. I looked into barefoot, I looked into management practices that weren't what I was currently doing. And then I swore to myself, okay, everything I did previously, I'm not going to do anymore. I'm going to just use a completely different method and see what happens. So then I can compare the two. So then the next horse came, the current horse. And it was amazing to see her develop through the groundwork. I backed her myself. And she was strong and she can really do everything that I want. And she's sound. And she's now 12 and she's barefoot and she lives out, even though she's a Dutch warm blood. And it's amazing. So I went from doing it one way to having a massive epiphany and then moving completely in the opposite direction. And that's where I am now. And I would never go back. And that's why I quit the sport. Because when I look back now, and we're going to do that in a minute, at my competition horses, and I've got a lot of photos, and it breaks me a bit because now I look back with more knowledge and I can see that what was going on during their training was not good for them. Even though these horses were successful in the sport, they were successful to the detriment of their bodies. And I'm not prepared to do that. I'm not against the sport in any way, shape or form, don't get me wrong. However, I choose not to participate because there is a lot that goes on that shouldn't be happening with regards to horses being uncomfortable, being trained badly, being trained to the detriment of their body, and scoring highly for it. And it's wrong. So I vowed not to do that. And now I have a sound horse. Don't do joint injections. Don't do any kind of pain relief or anything like that. She is completely natural, and she works 5-6 days a week, and everything is great. So I'm going to take you through some of my competition horses, and we're going to look back, and I'm going to take you through and tell you a little bit about them, and then what I think of them now with my current knowledge. So it's going to be a little bit raw for me, because sometimes when I see these pictures, it's hard to look at. But if I can use it to help educate people, that's why I'm doing it. But that's why I switched to training from a dressage perspective to training holistically, because it works, and the horses stay sound, they're happy, healthy, and it's amazing. So we'll look at the pictures. I'll take you through what that looks like for me now with the knowledge I have now, and then I'll take you through my current horse and how she is. This is the German import who got navicular at 5 years old. Judges loved him. He was a really big, loose mover. However, he is closed at the pole, on the forehand, out of balance, too short in the neck, and disengaged behind. That's why he ended up how he did, because he's on the front, overloading the front feet, so hence a predisposition for navicular. This one was the next one, a mare this time. She was pretty erratic in the arena. However, when she was good, she was great. Again, problems here on the forehand, neck far too short, pole closed, difficulty engaging the hind end because she's out of balance. She went on to be a brood mare. Another mare, this one also only reached 5 years old, various undiagnosed issues. She was very uncomfortable, quite violent in her behaviour. But again, when she competed, judges absolutely loved her. She moved super well. She really was, I think, one of the best horses that I've had. Her temperament was super great. She was quite small and compact. However, once again, way too much weight over the front. The neck is closed, too short in the frame, closed at the pole. Very, very difficult from a biomechanical point of view for this horse. This one, another mare, one I bred, hereditary condition in the lower cervical vertebrae, didn't make it to 5. Not really anything to do with training, this one. However, the frame here is way too short. The horse is still dropping through the chest and disengaging the hind end and not correctly working through the back. And this is the current one. You can see there's a vast difference in the frame. I also ride Bitless. Not all the time, she can have a proper bit in the mouth, but I vary between Bitless and a bridle. You can see I learned how to open the frame, engage the back correctly, keep the horse lifted in the front, not compressed in the neck, so really riding in a much more open frame. This horse is now, like I said, 12. Nothing going on, no joint injections, no veterinary history with regards to soundness whatsoever. And I am so proud of that. And it just goes to show that when you make changes in your methods and you train much more through working with the horse's body, then you actually can produce something that has longevity and is happy to do the work. I'm not going to lie, it was hard to actually change and rethink my beliefs and realise that what I'd learned from the people that were training me was actually not helping the horses at all. And I am so proud that I went through that change, and I am grateful that this horse came into my life and I had the opportunity to help her with her body, and we've worked and learned together to be where we are now. Now I'm able to help other horses in trouble with regards to soundness issues and biomechanical issues, and I have no regrets from quitting dressage at all. I love what I do now. I love helping horses, and it is much, much, much more rewarding than what was going on previously. I hope that's given you some insight into who I am and why I do what I do. Thank you so much for watching. I'd love to hear in the comments about where you are with your horse and your story. If you need help with your horses, please don't hesitate to get in touch. I'll leave the details in the video description. Thanks again for watching. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe and like this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.